I know that I've been promising you guys for such a long time to do my skincare routines. I do have a couple of videos about my AM skincare routine. I have one that is a little bit more in depth, and then I have one that is a very simple one. But what I wanted to do with this PM skincare routine is, instead of taking off my makeup and showing you all of that, I am going to be highlighting for you, or kind of mapping out for you, the order or how you should layer your skincare to get the best efficacy out of it, or to get it to be its most effective. So we're going to get into my PM skincare routine right now. All right, so the first thing you want to do is you want to take off your makeup, and usually that is with some sort of a makeup removing cleanser. I love the Pixi one. I just talked about this. They did send this to me, but I absolutely love this. This is the Hydrating Milk Makeup Remover, and it does have the pump dispenser. It is so easy to, put a pad in there and just take off my eye makeup. Or I absolutely love the Good Molecules Cleansing Balm. This is a solid balm that is just an oil in there. I'm sure other things too, but it just takes off makeup so well. A lot of people like the Clinique Cleansing Balm. Lots of times if I use waterproof eye makeup, I'm going to close my eyes and I'm just going to sit that there. And instead of rubbing it around, I'm just going to kind of let it, take it, like when you're soaking off the crud off your dishes. You just kind of let it soak there for a second, and it comes off a lot easier, and you won't have to rub so much. So that is my first step, is actually taking off my makeup. Second step is actually cleansing the skin. So now we've taken off makeup, so we might have a little bit of oils on there from using an oil base to get all of the makeup off. So then I cleanse, and I use the Hydrating Facial Cleanser from CeraVe because I don't feel like it strips me out too badly. I do like Philosophy Purity Made Simple as well. A lot of people feel like that one strips a little bit too much. This is a good one. They do have one that isn't hydrating if you're on the more oily side, so you might want to look into that. But this is a good one, does the job great, and it's from the drugstore. So that is step number 2, is making sure that everything is really clean after we take off our makeup, and there's no residual oils from whatever oil cleanser we use to take that makeup off. Step number 3 is your toners and or essences. This is the biggest rule of thumb when we get into skincare. We go from thinnest to thickest. So once we cleanse our skin, which usually are a little bit thicker, cleansers are a little bit thicker, so we throw that rule of thumb out right there. But once we get our skin cleansed, then we go from thinnest formulas to thickest. Essences are watery, serums aren't quite as watery, and then you get into moisturizers and the like. Right now I am using an essence, and that is from Secret Key. This has galactomyces. This is a very brightening ingredient, and it helps with your skin's texture. And so I'm really enjoying this one. Definitely going to repurchase this one again, because this is my second bottle. Now, if you wanted to go in at this point with a different toner, you could use the Good Molecules Niacinamide Brightening Toner. I don't use this one. I use this one in the morning, but you could if you wanted to. This does have a little bit of vitamin C in it, but I use a separate vitamin C serum, so you could do that one. You could also do the glycolic toning solution from The Ordinary, or the Pixi, either one you wanted to. I have a tendency to use both of these toners in the morning because, like I said, I do use a vitamin C at night, and I prefer not to have anything interrupt the vitamin C. It does have a very kind of unstable pH level. So I do use these in the morning. I don't use this one every day, just so you know. I use it like every other day because I do have sensitive skin, and the glycolic is a peeling solution, but I do use the niacinamide every morning. Oh, and don't forget, before you start to go in with anything else, this is my X-Lash. I paint this on my eyelashes. That is a step in my routine that I do use. So I paint this on the lash line. This is what gives me my eyelashes that I have that are growing like weeds, and I absolutely love them. And if you've been with my channel for any length of time, you know that this has to be a step in my skincare, is an eyelash growth serum. So after I do my essence, thinnest, like I said, then I'm going to go in with my serums, little bit thicker, and I'll just show you what I mean. So the Secret Key, that is a water. Can you guys see the water droplets? It's just water. It's not anything that has any sort of a slip to it. And I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to put it on my arms. And then the next one, the super peptide serum from Good Molecules. I love using peptides. They're very good for the skin in hydration and anti-aging. But it's thicker. So again, can you see how much thicker that is? It's almost like a thin lotion. So that one is going to be my next step. Any sort of serums like that are a little bit thicker. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use some water to give my face a really good spritz and get it really wet, because the next thing I'm going to use is my serum that is my hyaluronic acid. This is a super hyaluronic acid concentrate that I get from Hada Labo, and it is really good. Now this one is really thick. And this one does not dry me out ever, you guys, but part of that is because I do use a little spritz of water across my face. The other part of it is it's just chocked full of different kinds of hyaluronic acid, not just sodium hyaluronate, which can be very drying. So you want to give yourself a little bit extra water before you put on any sort of your hyaluronic acids. But hyaluronic acid, they do have several different kinds. There's something like 15 different kinds of hyaluronic acid. So again, this is like a serum. You can see that it's very thick in there compared to the Secret Key, which is very thin. This is my essence. This is a serum. Okay, once I do that, I know you guys, this seems like a lot, but when you're doing skincare, it's not a lot. Once I do that, I go in with my vitamin C serum. And then I just let my skin sink all of that in. I sit and I have this is my tub, you guys. This is my skincare tub. It goes in my bathroom every day, comes out every night and every morning. And it just is something that I have, that I pack around, and I put it on my bed because I'm going to do it while I'm watching TV. This is another thing that I feel like is my self-care, my self-pampering. And I know that you guys ask all the time, why does your skin look so good? Well, this is the reason. It's because I take a lot of time with it. I take a lot of care with it. And the other thing is that I really kind of relish that time. It's my pampering time. It's the time that I get to take care of myself. So it's kind of my downtime. Okay, we're up to vitamin C, right? So at this point, if I want to do a tool on my skin, you can get out your jade roller. Your jade rollers are really good. Unfortunately, my jade roller squeaks and it drives me crazy. So I don't use it as much as I should. I've either got to get some WD-40 on that baby, or I've got to get a new one. But that one squeaks. But this one right here is a germanium roller. These little stones right here are called germanium, and then it's just in steel. And this rolls across here, you guys. So I will use this after I put on all my serums, and I will just go across everywhere. And as you put this across your skin, I notice little bumpy feelings as I'm doing that. And those are like kind of what need to be released underneath your skin. So up on the chin, with all of your skincare, make sure you go upwards on your neck. And anything that I've used on my face or shown you, guys, it goes all the way around my eyes. All the steps, they go all the way around my eyes. My skin is not super sensitive. It is like mildly sensitive. And then I have very dry skin as far as what I look for in my skincare. I look for things that are very hydrating. So all of this stuff is going to be very hydrating. So if you're normal to dry skin, you're going to find this very helpful. Okay, back to the tool. This just goes across underneath my chin right here. I don't press super, super hard, but I do, kind of get in there and break everything apart. And then I'm going to go on this part of my gel. I'm going to go up along my neck right here with it several different times. I'm going to do both sides equally. I'm going to go across my lips to kind of release all of this. And especially when I do my lip routine, I'll go like this. I'll pull my lip out and I'll go across it very gently on the lips. And then I'll do the same thing on my eyes. I will lift my eye. I'll go across it. I'm going to lift my forehead. I'm going to just taking a lot of time with this tool, because not only does it feel great, it releases a ton of tension. It helps drain the lymphatic system in your face. Our lymph system in our face can get swollen with stress or, pollutants outside, or, different things we eat, a lot of salt, anything, if you have a tendency to just have inherited bags around your eyes, this can be such a great tool for, draining that lymphatic system, Don't go in aggressively, just, you know, be real gentle with it. If you do have a lot of bags, I do have another video about that as well, where I can, you know, show you how you can release that with massage. Really, really good video. But this tool has been doing me really good about this sagging skin that I'm so worried about, because, you know, once I lost all that weight I lost, I was so worried that I was going to get a turkey neck, which I kind of do have, and I just keep working with it. And this tool is, more than anything, is what's helping me, I believe, in the fight against that. So that is my next step. Okay, now everything is kind of soaked in. My skin isn't wet. This is the point about 2 to 3 times a week, depending on how sensitive my skin is at that point. I will go in with my 0.1% of my Retin-A. And this, you need a very, very tiny amount. I do have several videos on it. Please don't use a ton of it. Please don't use it every night if you're starting out. All of those things are going to contribute to you really hating this product. If you do that, you're going to have a hard time with it, because if you use too much, if it travels, you know, down around your eyes, gets into your folds, it's going to hurt, because it's going to like cause a lot of sensitivity. It's almost going to feel like it's burnt. That's its job, is to penetrate the skin and go in there, make collagen, push that old skin up and out, and plump up the skin. That's what Retin-A does, tretinoin does, is it helps build collagen on the cellular level. So that's when I go in, is after I've done all of my serums, I go in. Now, if you have really, really sensitive skin and you find that this is just driving you crazy to use it, you don't like to use it because of the peeling, the flaking, the soreness, whatever you get, dryness around your eyes, whatever you get, then use your moisturizer first and then put this on. That's what I do around my eyes, is I wait, and if I'm going to use this around my eyes, which I do only do the 0.05 around my eyes with after a moisturizer, and I'm used to that now. But some people don't like this at all around their eyes because they have dry eyes. So check with your dermatologist. That's what I would say. Check with your dermatologist, your optometrist, if you're having any sensitivity in your actual eyes being dry. I've never had any of that. This is going on my 4th, 5th year of using Retin-A. So this is the point when I put my Retin-A in. Then I let that soak in for about 5 or 10 minutes. And then I'm going to go in with my last step, and that is some sort of an oil and my heavy cream. And this is the urea cream from Suko Yakusuhara. And I love this stuff, but it is heavy, you guys. And you combine it with the oil. I use squalane oil. I will use maracuja oil. I'll use argan oil, marula oil. Any of those oils, they have a ton from The Ordinary. The bee oil from The Ordinary is excellent. There is so many. This is from Good Molecules. This is the Ultra Hydration Facial Oil. Such a good oil. It combines a couple different ones. I think this is camellia oil and sea buckthorn oil in here. Really good oil, you guys. But what I'll do is, because this cream is like super duper thick, I don't even know if you're going to be able to see that or not, but it's super duper thick. I mean, even if I shook it, I don't think it would ever come out of there. It's really a thick cream, almost like a balm that you take your makeup off with, but it doesn't have that effect. So what I do is I take a couple drops of the oil, put it in my hand. I'll touch my finger into the urea cream, touch it into the oil, and then I'll go in wherever I'm going into. This goes right up underneath my eyes, on top of my eyelids. Very soothing, very safe product for just about everyone. You are not going to find a more hydrating product than, you know, having urea in your product or having a really good oil in your product. And it doesn't matter, you know, if you have another one that you like better than the Suko Yakusuhara. I've heard a lot of people tout how good the Hada Labo is, which I haven't tried before, but I've heard a lot of people say how good it is. There's lots of other creams that have urea in there, but urea is super moisturizing. I have a very dry, arid climate that I live in, a deserty climate. The humidity does not get over in the wintertime. It never gets over about 15–20%. And then I have dry heat coming from the ceiling. And then my skin is normally dry anyway, even when I lived in a very humid climate. So definitely use something to lock all those good things in that you've just done to your face. And that for me is the oil and the moisture at the same time. Now, lots of people like to do moisture first and then oil. Perfectly fine too. What you're going to find with your oil, though, oil should always be your last step at night. What you're going to find with your oils is if you rub your oil in after you've done all that skincare, all your rest of your skincare is going to ball up. So just pat your oils in if you want to do an oil at the last. Just pat those in. That's why I actually like mixing it in with the cream, because once I do that, then it doesn't take off any of the other skincare. It just goes on there and it just locks everything in. And that's really what this moisturizer does, is just locks down everything that I've done. And in the morning, my skin will be super soft, still tacky, still moisturized when I wake up, and I love that. And then I just go in with my favorite balm, whatever it is, and make sure my lips are very hydrated as well. But that is my skincare routine. I know it's very in-depth. I know there's a lot of products in there, but I do get asked this question all the time. If you could only do a few products, what would you do bare minimum? And here it is. You have to have a cleanser. You have to take off your makeup, so you might have to use this twice to get your makeup off. So you have to have a cleanser of some sort to either get the oils off in the morning or get your makeup off and make sure your face is very, very clean before you start. So number one is a cleanser. Number two is I would never be without some sort of a vitamin C serum. It brightens and it's an antioxidant, so it helps with anything that's pollutants that are going to be hitting your skin. Even what we're eating sometimes can be really bad for our skin. So it's going to help with all that. And then my Retin-A. So there is, right now I've got 3 products. So now we're talking about cleanser, we're talking about vitamin C serum, and then we're talking about Retin-A, and then some sort of a moisturizer. That would be my nighttime routine if I was going to just be doing bare minimum and wasn't going to be doing any of these other steps. No matter what you do with your skincare, you're going to take off all of the dirt and all the makeup or whatever. So cleanser, and then we're going to go in with toner and essence. Those are about the same consistency. Then we're going to go in with serums. After that, we're going to go in with moisturizer and oils at night. So those are my steps all the way through. That was a lot. I'm going to list this down below so you can see morning skincare routine and layering, and evening skincare routine and layering. And then I'll have the products also listed. This is all about what I do. But again, I switch off nights. I don't do all this every single night. And yes, you can use your vitamin C. That is a myth, that you can't use vitamin C with Retin-A. That is a myth. They are 2 vitamins that are very powerful together. The myth was that Retin-A would mess with the pH of the vitamin C, and that's been busted. And tons of different journals. I'll list that as well below, along with the links to many other skincare videos that I've done in the past. Wow, I'm worn out, you guys. So I hope that you did enjoy this. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. I know that that was a lot to think about, a lot to kind of process. If you have any questions, please list them in the comment section. I will get to them as quickly as I possibly can. So I'm hoping that this one was okay for you guys. I'm hoping that it was easy enough to understand. Thank you so much for being with me. I hope everybody is doing well. Stay safe, stay sanitized. I love you guys very, very much. Thinking of you all the time and everything you're having to go through. I'll catch you all in my next video. Love you. Bye-bye.